So hello and welcome to this podcast run by the Media and Branding Committee of the School of Management IIT Mandi. So today we have a guest with us who is very special. We've got Mr. Anup Purohit. Anup is currently the Global CIO at Wipro. He has got over 25 years of experience working in the BFSI sector. Thank you, Anup, for coming here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me in this awesome facilities of IIT Mandi.
We're glad to have you here with us. So Anup, let us begin with a question that is very general to what every other student would want to know. So what drew you to the career path that you have selected here?
So I'll give you my answers, which is straight from the heart. Okay. As you would have heard in the morning, I said today's kids are sharp. We were not that sharp, kid. We didn't know what to go. It is like if you would have seen the movie Lakshya, मेरा दोस्त को आर्मी में जाना है, इसलिए मेरे को भी जाना है आर्मी में. So it was exactly the similar way. My friends wanted to do, actually I wanted to do medicine because my wife, to be, at then, that was my girlfriend, she wanted to become a doctor, so I wanted to become a doctor. And in fact, I got good marks to become a doctor. But then another friend said, doctor, you will have to work for at least 9 years before you start making money. So let's become an engineer. So after 4 years, you get it. So there was no defined answer, and that's a factual answer from my point of view. But yeah, once I was in the job, I navigated through that area of technology, being an electronics engineer, coming to the technology field and getting into the varied, I would say the banking sectors and going around the banking understanding, and then reach the level where I am. For me, education system is like a sharpener, a pencil and a sharpener. Okay, so once your brain is sharpened, you can apply it anywhere you want in this area. But the good thing with IIT Mandi is that you guys are sharpener, but a very specialized sharpener for certain things, and that gives you guys an edge over where we were 30 years ago.
So thank you for your insight. I think the students would have a lot of the questions answered now. So let's move on to the next question. So how are the BFSI companies leveraging technology to transform their industry?
See, BFSI and telecom are the largest adopter of technology, or one of the biggest adopter of the technology. Now, it won't be wrong in saying that the banks are actually a technology company in the business of banking. So they are a technology company, and banking is an incidental. It's as true as this is. Now, the reason why banks are evolving with the technology, because it's when you get into banking business, you need to have a range and you need to have a reach. A range is the bouquet of offering you provide, and reach is the geographical location. Now, it's physically impossible to open physical branches in every location or to reach out. So technology is the best way. You can create a product centrally and anybody can use it. So, which is why things kept on growing. And yes, to give better services is what banking is aspiring to their customer. Growing the businesses, increasing the wallet share of the customers is one of the important things which banks are looking at. So if as a bank has, let's say 20 products which they want to sell, and let's say if they have 100 customers, and assuming the customer is status quo, so ideal would be 100 customers should have all the 20 products, which means 2,000 kind of a thing. So that becomes your denominator. Now, to ensure that increasing the numerator per customer is important task. So today, banks may have a customer which has 2 products. The ideal would be having all the 20 products, but that's not feasible. But at least by having a technology, this increase of the wallet share becomes much more easier and faster.
Good to know. So now let's move on to the next question. So could you share an example of a successful digital transformation project that you have led?
Many, I would say. I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of banking, I would say business banking, business transformation. I wouldn't say banking technology transformation, banking business transformation. To start with by the latest one, when I was in a bank, Yes Bank, in 15 months we changed the entire core of the bank, which was a legacy core banking platform. We moved to the latest core banking platform. We moved to the latest credit card platform, which was there. So for a bank to grow and increase its reach, to increase the range and the reach, they need 2 things. One is the foundation, which has to be very strong. Once the foundation is strong, then you can build the bells and whistles around it, which are the channels. Mobile channel, net banking channel, wallet channel. You can get into ATM channels, so multiple channels you can build. So bank, you can say my personal contribution is huge. API banking was one of the biggest, I would say, transformation which we did. If you recollect, 6-7 years ago, people used to buy product from the marketplace, but they were reluctant because if they don't like the product, returning it and getting the refund was a challenge. That was the first big thing which we did in September 2015, where we integrated the core banking payment API with that of Snapdeal. Snapdeal was a platform which was earlier to Amazon and Flipkart's, and we did that. And that transformation led that the moment person comes to collect your goods from your return goods, immediately the money can be transferred. It was that, and that was probably one of the, I would say, revolution which led the growth of the entire e-commerce industry in India. As core banking have multiple example. UPI was another big success which we did in the previous bank. Today, PhonePe, that was one of the leading UPI player. They partnered with us, and almost 40% of the UPI transaction for the entire country happens on the Yes Bank's handle, which was started by us when I was there. Likewise, in my previous bank, RPL Bank, we did a huge amount of transformation. It was I would say, legacy bank where even email was a luxury. So transforming a bank from where it was to a bank of choice was one of the biggest journey. Every month for 30 months, we launched a single product to transform the banking business at RBL. And that was one biggest. And likewise, I can give you examples. Probably you can wait till tomorrow. I have so many examples to give it to you.
So you've got a plethora of experience here.
Absolutely. We've dirtied our hands to do all these things too.
I'm pretty sure most of the luxuries we enjoy today have been some part involved with these.
Yep. I'm not saying I'm solely responsible. There are a lot of folks involved in that.
So let's move on to the next question. So what are the biggest challenges in aligning technology with business strategies?
See, this is the most important aspect. Trust me, technology in isolation is nothing, and a business in isolation will never grow. The amalgamation of both is what I call as a Sangam, which is happening in Rudraprayag at this point in time. And that's one of the big, I would say, the best thing. A lot of CIOs fail in aligning the technology to the business roadmap. They create their own technology roadmap. Once somebody told me that the CIOs are so rigid, it's like the good green walkway is here, but they will build a cement path over there. And cement path is of not much use when you need to have a flexible walkway available on that. And that's how the problem is. For me, personally, one of my biggest strengths is that I use technology for business driver. So our roles generally are support role. In any organization you go, technology role or support role. For me, I don't consider myself as support. It's a journey from support to a business enabler, from business enabler to a business driver, and from business driver to being a business in itself. So this is a journey. If the CIOs understand that very well, they will be able to reach to that path and do whatever is required to reach that part in terms of aligning the technology to the business strategy. And that's most important. And for that, you need to have a domain expert of the business and how your technology is going to solve that business problem and help business to grow. That's an important aspect. If you're able to understand yourself and convince your stakeholder, it's an easy journey. If it is not, then the CIOs will be changed, I would say.
Okay. So the next question that I have is, how do you manage the growing concerns around cybersecurity in the industry?
Trust me, this is a genuine problem which industry is facing, and across all domains, whether it's a BFSI or manufacturing, e-commerce, because it said that the criminals, cyber criminals, needs to be successful once, and we as a CIO have to be successful 100 times, because one miss from us is their success, and then they can do it. So yes, it is one of the biggest problem and one of the biggest menace which is growing exponentially. And with the AI coming into play, hackers are 2 steps ahead of I would say, and they are using that too effectively. But there's a saying, loha lohe ko kaatta hai, or if you want to kind of combat criminal, you have to think like a criminal and be ahead of them. So if they are using an AI-driven algorithms to penetrate your network, to penetrate your system, you have to use an AI-driven algorithm to combat them. But easier said than done. A lot of organizations are still sitting on a legacy infrastructure, legacy systems. For them to change that effectively means a lot of work and a lot of time. But when for criminals, and it's a one-time job for them, so they will capitalize. So it's going to be I would say a combat which will keep on happening. And then, as I said, criminal has to succeed once. We have to ensure that we protect every single time.
So my next question to you is, what are the new technologies that you think will be shaping banking in the future?
See, technologies will keep on evolving. As I was talking about in my last 30 years, if I picked up 95 to 2000, .com and internet boom. 2008 to 2012, 13, mobile first boom. 14, 15, 16 started cloud first boom. Now is an AI first boom. And I'm sure there's something will come in. People are talking about AGI, artificial general intelligence, and there will be a lot of things. Probably, there was things for blockchains was coming into play, but a lot of things. Personally, if you ask me, I think I'm very gung-ho about AI. It's not a flavor of the season. It is a reality, and it will be a reality at a scale. Even though everyone is still kind of scratching the surface of an iceberg, which is a lot of things at the bottom, but even that surface of the iceberg is huge for changing the world significantly. So I'm very much, you can call it as a gung-ho about this technology, that how it can help to change the business, whatever business it could be, it has a role to play. And if businesses don't incorporate these AI, whether it's a AI or you can call simple, if I use Microsoft Copilot or any other AI technology, if people don't incorporate in the business plan, then I feel that it will be a Kodak moment for them, for that business.
True that. So now moving on to the next question, I was reading an article where you had given an interview to the Economic Times. You had mentioned something about a client zero strategy.
Yep.
Could you shed some more light onto that?
Sure. So, see, one of the problem statement in an IT industry is that all the IT folks thinks that IT industry, everybody's a CIO, everybody's understanding. They're in the business of technology, so they feel that they know technology all over the place. But the fact of the matter is, not everybody is that expert, because to run a technology function in a technology company is a very challenging task. Like when I was in a bank, I was a CEO of a technology inside a bank. My department, I consider myself, because I know business, I know technology, the rest are business folks. In an IT company, while I am running IT, the business is also IT. So it becomes a different ball game. But at the same time, it is also true. एक कहावत है, मोची के बच्चे जूते नहीं पहनते. Cobblers children don't wear shoes. Same thing with an IT folks. IT company doesn't have a good IT kitchen inside. So one of the reasons why I thought of joining an IT, it was a huge opportunity for me to clean up or to use my banking IT operations and transformations role into an IT company. Now the concept of client zero is if who are the clients of IT companies, the CIOs of the customers. I'm also CIO. Why can't I be the customer of Wipro? If you think from that point of view, so I am the largest customer of Wipro. So if Wipro has any solutions which they want to try it outside, I'm your largest guinea pig. Use me. And I, coming from a banking industry, can vet that solution 360-degree with a critical mindset and make that more robust for it to be used at the customer. At the same time, I also build something internally and which can be used, because when I build an AI GenAI solution, I keep in mind the business, a bank as a customer, which means for them, the security and the data is most important. So I will build the guardrail. So I use those solutions as a client zero, and then we take it across to the market. It's like drinking your own champagne first and then taking it out.
So those were great insights. So my next question to you is, I was looking through a podcast wherein Gary Tan, the CEO of Y Combinator, mentioned about 2025 being the year of AI agents. Do you think that the trend is following on?
Absolutely. It is a big change. So when AI started, everybody was using, as I said, ChatGPT equivalent or on that. It's more of an instant gratification. It didn't have that agentic AI framework. Now, if you can think, if I'll take an example of Microsoft. So Microsoft has something called as a Copilot Studio, where you can build an agents on those Copilot Studio. And if I have a 2,500,000 people who have a Copilot license, I built it one, and then those can be distributed for people to use it. Now this Copilot agent, or you can call it agent or a persona, it can be anything. Like for example, I have built an agent for me that I don't want to read emails. So you built an agent which will read your emails and summarize and give it to you every morning. On that. So I don't have to release 500 emails every day. The important ones they will read. So likewise, there are many tasks. You can create them as an agent and you can call them. And these agents can also call an agent. Agentic AI framework. Like a music conductor, as I was giving an example, I'm a music conductor, you are playing sitar, she's playing tabla, he's playing. Now you can play sound individually, or I can direct it, that fusion between the you as a music conductor. So agentic AI framework is exactly like that. There will be multiple agents AI. They can orchestrate and give you the required business outcome.
Wow. So that is some great news. Perhaps we see more of them in the future.
Absolutely. It's going to be, in fact, if you would have read recently Satya's interview, he said exactly the same thing, that future is going to be AI agents, and people have to start using agents. So companies will start also talking about how many AI employees I have. AI employees are the agents running in the back end and performing the task for you.
So good to hear. Now let's move on to the next question. The next question I have is that how do you see people or young folks who would want to join this particular career stream that you have chosen? What advice do you have for them?
In the AI space or so
any space, or perhaps the space that you are going through, the career trajectory that you have followed.
See, now while it is said that if you are, I'm talking about the normal investment, you will, if you invest in the blue chip companies, you will never go wrong. Very rare chance you'll go wrong. Right now the trend is AI and cybersecurity. So these are the two areas where while I understand the courses may be very, everybody getting into will create a saturation point over there as well. But right now I think these are the two big areas where people need to learn. That doesn't mean that I'm saying people should be coding AI. There are people who will work in companies like Microsoft or Mistrals or Copilots or OpenAI or NVIDIA, where they will develop the LLMs, security LLMs or business related LLMs they develop. So they are the technologists. The second are going to be the practitioner. They will use this technology to solve the business problem, to give the business opportunity in the competitive market. So these are the areas I feel that my advice to the kids who are passing it out, yes, you need to understand technology, you need to be there, but you need to understand your business problem too and how technology can solve that. That is an important ask. One of my mantra of success is, historically technology was here and business was here. There's nobody to carry out the message or a marriage between the two. So this layer of people who can understand technology, need not be the coders or need not be who understand the technology and who understands the business, are the people who will be most wanted people, because they can understand the business needs, and at the same time they have a technology teams underneath them, convert those requirements into a functional specification and code it and get the delivery done. So that is an ideal way. I would feel that area has a lot of opportunities for the kids. Understand the domain, whichever domain you are working, you get into whichever domain, understand that domain, and then look at the technology, how technology can solve the business problem. Typically, one last gyan I would leave to the kids, which I see normally in IT companies. People mistake between effort, output, and outcome. These are the different thing. Effort is how much time you are spending on doing any work. I've spent 20 man days doing this, 3 man months doing this, 8 man months doing that, an effort. And after that effort, I have created one application, or I have created this technology, I have created that technology. That's an output. Outcome is the use of the technology to solve the business problem. And that is what will lead you. If you talk about effort and output, you will be mediocre. But if you talk about an outcome, you are talking to the business in the language which they understand, and that will help you to grow faster. It's not that the other two are not important. You need to know the effort, you need to know the output for you to have the outcome. But if you just stick yourself over here, not talk about the outcome, you will lose. So kids who are passing it out understand the business, what outcome they're looking out for, so that they can get the effort from anyone and output from anyone and give the outcome to the people. That's
so the focus should be on the outcome.
Absolutely.
Outcome different. So we've got one final question. So what are a few trends that you've been following on currently?
Personally, I feel Copilots is one big area, Microsoft Copilot. Security, AI. So when I say Copilot, I'm referring to AI and Gen AI and AGI. These are the areas which will keep on blooming. Machine learning will keep on kind of growing in this. So these are the areas which I see at least next 5 to 8 years will be a big play for transforming. As I said, even if today everybody stopped creating any new technologies in AI, but whatever has been created until now will be huge to solve the business problem and make life simpler for the business and the customers. So I think this will continue for at least a decade, the AI Gen AI.
So Anup, thank you so much for your insights. It was a pleasure talking to you, listening to you. And I hope the students who are listening to this also had gained some good knowledge.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me over here. Thank you.